And you'll never know just who you'll meet walking through these late night crowds. Bills and Max and Johns and Jacks have a lot of time to play. Searching in the...
Hi, I'm Christina Johns. Welcome to Ellyn Stern. Today, my very special guest is Ellyn Stern. Ellyn Stern is a fabulous actress, and I know her from her beautiful voiceovers as well as her on-camera work. Today, I want to ask you about this play that you're doing currently, Exit the King.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. We are running Friday, Saturday, and Sundays through April 1st. It's with the Classical Theater Lab. The bar is so high. The actors are just tremendous.
With the Theater of the Absurd. This is Ionesco play.
It's Eugene Ionesco.
I love him. Romanian, Parisian.
Let me tell you some history that is just really, really insanely interesting.
Cool.
My husband's distant cousin is Eugene Ionesco.
What?
Ionesco is a Romanian Jew. His family lived in Romania, and when times got very, very difficult, when the pogroms started, they left Romania. He was a child, and they moved to Paris. Their name was Epcar, I-P-C-A-R.
Oh, you just gave
And
me
my
sense.
married name is Epcar, E-P-C-A-R. So they changed their name from Epcar to Ionesco in order to avert being persecuted and, of course, gassed.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That's a wonderful story.
Isn't it amazing?
Goosebumps. Yeah, and coincidentally, you're an actor, he's an actor, and you're doing Ionesco.
Unfortunately, I never had the pleasure to meet him. My husband and I have been married, Richard and I have been married for 30 years now.
My God.
And he met him right before we were together.
Oh, okay.
A couple of his works that he's a little more known for, one is The Bald Soprano, and the other is The Rhinoceros. Exit the King, though, has been considered one of his finest pieces. He was at a stage in his life where he thought he was dying. He was ill. He wasn't dying, but in order to cope with his own fears, he wrote this play. The play is about a king who's 400 years old and has been told, it's time for you to die. And he's put it off long enough. And he says, but I'm not ready. And of course we never are. It is a comedy, even though it's dealing with the subject of death. It is a comedy. And as a matter of fact, it's about existentialism. That's really the subject. Geoffrey Rush did this play in Sydney, Australia, and was so in love with it. Well, he adapted it and translated it with Neil Armfield, and then it was a huge success in Sydney. And then they moved it to Broadway because they thought the New York audience would love it. And they did. It was a huge hit. And he won Best Actor in 2009. And we are doing the West Coast premiere of it.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes, it's a big deal.
Oh, that is a big deal.
The King and I have more lines than anybody else. And I say that because it's an hour 45 minutes of us on stage, never leaving the stage.
Oh my goodness, how exhausting.
When
it's rained when it's over?
I feel tired the next day after a weekend of doing it.
Sure.
And I can't imagine Susan Sarandon and Geoffrey Rush did it, 8 performances a week, and it's a muscle though. You train yourself.
Right. I wanted to ask you about the film that you were doing last time I spoke with you, the Blood on Canvas. Is that finished?
It is not only finished. I have one of the leads in it. I'm one of the stars of the film. But we just won Best Feature both internationally and domestically in the Uptown Michigan Film Festival.
Great.
Yes,
Woo.
and so I'm very, very
Was the release
thrilled.
date in?
It hasn't been released because
Okay.
a film has to go through all the festivals, and if you don't, if you have already released it, it doesn't qualify for festivals.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
it'll have probably a 2012 release date for the end of this year.
I would think, yeah.
So that it
But
qualifies for the next Academy Awards.
From your mouth to God's ears, as my mother would say.
Yeah. What type of role did you do?
It's about domestic violence, really. It's legal drama. It's true story. And I play a young woman's mother who is alone and conflicted and abusive.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
You are the abuser.
I'm the abuser.
Wow. Like Piper Laurie and Carrie?
Not quite to that extent, but what happens as a result is that my abuse makes her familiar with abuse, and then she has an abusive relationship.
Oh, okay.
This isn't
Seems
true.
normal to her.
Right, because we do repeat the things that we become familiar with.
Right.
And unless we learn to break the pattern.
Yeah.
But something happens as a result and affects her for the rest of her life. And it's a tragic story. It's a very compelling story.
Blood on canvas.
Blood on canvas.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I was looking over your IMDb.
That's the only way I know
Bio.
myself.
And
where have I been? What have I done?
And I was kind of comparing my profile of yours, and I've always been proud of my 4 years of 2 or 3 shows a weekend at the Wildside Theater doing improv comedy. And then I look at yours, and how many years were you at this Epcar Theater doing improv?
Oh, that was 15 years.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you must have so many characters under your belt.
Well, you know, all my training, and I trained a lot, and most recently with the notably known Larry Moss.
Oh.
He's the coach to the stars, and he's just a phenomenal coach, and he changed my work. But I've always studied. One of the things that I have learned is script analysis, and that is the most important thing, is to read the script and know what the subtext is, and know what each of the characters think about each other, what the history of each of those characters are, so that, like in doing Exit the King, that I'm not doing a royal, I'm being a member of a family who happens also to have royalty.
Yeah.
But it's a family. And so you have to break it down because all relationships connect. And you have to find where the connective tissue is and what their backgrounds are, whether they're poor, whether they're rich, whether they have been schooled, whether they were abused, whether they were treated with kindness, where their frailties are, where their flaws are, where their fears are, what their needs are.
I'm scratching my lip. It looked like I know it looked like I was trying to tell her something.
But that's behavior. This is behavior. So nobody just sits and goes, hello, and is just a bored. We all have behavior. We fiddle with our blouses, we finger our necklaces. Did someone give me, my husband gave me this necklace. That brings a smile to my face. So there is behavior with the body, there's behavior that everybody has, and what we're looking for in acting is to have really natural behavior that feels like you're peering at someone through the eye of a lens, and like we're sneaking up on them.
Ooh.
Like we're spying on them.
Oh, how interesting.
Because what we want to see is real personal behavior. We don't want to see somebody just sitting.
Well, what is the TV series you're working on right now?
It's called Milk and Honey, and Idris Elba from Luther produced it, and Debbie Allen, who's known from Fame,
Well, of course.
and she's in it. She plays the drama coach, and I play the head of a big, like a William Morris agency.
Fabulous.
And I'm kind of a bitch.
She's kind of a bitch. You and Richard have Epcar Entertainment and I know a lot of voiceover work. I had Richard on my show just very recently, as a matter of fact, right before Dragon Con. Well, what voiceover roles?
I did Ghost in the Shell. I played Haraway in Ghost in the Shell, Innocent. I was Jack's mom in the series Mar. I was Yu's mom in the series Known. I play Masaki Kurosaki in the series Bleach. And right now I'm doing a series called Gundam Unicorn, and I play she's kind of a nasty character, Martha.
Did you do voiceover work when you met, or was this something that both of you fell into, or how?
I brought him into the voice work.
Did you?
I had just started a film, an old Western, called Jesse's Girls. And it was with Rod Cameron and Sandra Curry. Anyhow, I finished that, and there was a voice job, and I said, can I bring my boyfriend, who was Richard?
Has a beautiful voice.
And so we both got the work, and that was the beginning. And 30 years later, you know, it's been our unintentional cottage industry.
Wow. Well, that's all we have time for, unfortunately. We'll have to have you back, Ellyn.
I would love to.
Okay.
I would love to.
You said maybe you and Richard together. Boy, that's going to be an epic episode. I'm Christina Johns. You've been watching LA Scene. Please look for Ellyn Stern in the Exit the King. I almost said the Exit the King. Makes no sense. Exit the King, currently playing here in Los Angeles through April 1st. Also her TV series Milk and Honey, and later this year we hope that the film Blood on Canvas will be released. And of course all your video games and TV, anime, and oh my goodness, so much. You seem very anxious to tell me something else.
Oh, well, I'd like everybody to come see Exit the King. It's a wonderful show, and I'm very, very excited about it.
The phone number for tickets is 323-960-5691, or visit www.classicaltheaterlab.org. And there's free parking, I
There
understand.
is, and it's located in Plummer Park. There's a theater in there.
Oh,
and
yes, that's a wonderful theater.
And if you mention the code word stew, you can get half off tickets.
I have performed in that theater. I used to be in an opera group that actually performed in that theater.
You're kidding?
No, years
in
ago.
Fiesta Hall?
Yes. So they have general admission. It says here $25 and $15 for the student rush at the door.
But if they mention the word stew, it is half off, so it would be $12.50.
Oh, is that what you were just saying and
Yes.
I ignored you? All right, well, you know, that's kind of real life. This is a really cool picture here.
Alexander Wells. I play Queen Marguerite. There's Gina Manziello, who plays the other queen, the newer queen. It's kind of a Lion in Winter thing. She's the newer queen to come on the block, which I'm not too happy about. And Joseph Beck plays the guard, and Joe Holzer plays the doctor.
I hate to say it, but my end credits are now running out. So, boo-hoo. So this is the rap after the rap. Maybe we'll have a rap party, or we'll perform a rap. Or we'll rap gifts to each other. Something like that. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, that's a wrap for the extras.
And that's